What if I told you that you can lose weight and improve your overall fitness and well-being without going on a restrictive diet or adding more of sports and exercise in your life? Hi, I'm Kate. I'm an ultra runner and running coach, and here on this channel I usually talk all things about running. But particularly today we will talk about something not exactly running related, but rather just about how you can improve the way you feel, the way you feel your body, but by adding a few things to your everyday life. I've already mentioned it quite a few times before, but I feel like the biggest challenge, or at least one of the biggest challenges of the world today, of the modern world, is the comfort zone. It seems like all of the industry and the, consumer industry, everything's oriented on keeping you as comfortable as you can. And don't you dare go out of your comfort zone. But in reality, we improve when we step a little bit out of the comfort zone. And unfortunately, despite the fact that originally, for us, for humans as species, it is absolutely natural to move, it seems like life today, lifestyle that many people lead today, is all about sitting down, relaxing, and not really moving around a lot. If you start moving a bit more, even without going out running or without going to the gym, you can actually dramatically change the way you feel, and you can also lose weight. Generally, if you just look at a life of an ordinary person who works in an office, it would be going to the office by car or by bus, sitting on a train, and then sitting the whole day in the office, then going somewhere out with friends, sitting in a, let's say, pub or a restaurant, or sitting back home. So the thing is that there is really, really little movement. Even if you commute, you would see that the way commute is organized nowadays, it seems like everything's done to reduce how much you walk, how much you add those little exercise into your life. So let's say you take some kind of a planner of your route, let's say Google Maps, and you would build a route. You would choose public transport. What would it do? It would generally give you a route which would have as less walking in it as possible. And that means you would be going on a bus or a train or something, and all the connections in between will be designed that way that you will not have any long walk. What I think can be really, really effective, and I'm absolutely sure about it, is that instead of taking different types of public transport, you can just walk a bit more. So if you know the infrastructure of your general, the route that you usually take to work or wherever you need to commute, you can, for example, just omit a few, types of transport, or you can just walk for one stop. If you stand on a bus stop, if you come to a bus stop and you see that, you have the wait time for the bus is, let's say, 5 minutes, you can just as well walk to the next stop. Why would you stand there looking into your phone, scrolling something on social media, when instead you can actually just walk those, let's say, 500 meters or whatever the distance between the bus stops can be. If you just plan your route so that you add in a bit of more walking, it would already increase the overall number of steps that you do during the day. And that means you become more active, you lose more energy, you lose more calories. The way your metabolism works would also change. Also, let's say if you go on a tube and there is an escalator and you stand on the right hand side, you can walk on the left hand side. I mean, why would you stand if you have a chance of walking up on the escalator? It will be faster, and it would also improve your fitness a little bit. It will already change so much for your body. So that's one thing. So rule number one, and they're just going to be just two rules. Nothing too hard, not so huge. Rule number one is walk whenever you have to walk. If you have a bit of time, you have to wait for something, don't just stand there, or even worse, sit there and wait for something. Just walk around. When you meet your friends, why don't you just go for a little stroll around the park rather than sit in a cafe? You can just grab a coffee, walk around. That would add to your overall, to the overall number of steps that you make during the day. And I'm not kind of, exaggerating the importance of particularly making steps. I mean, you can take a bike sometimes. Think about commuting to your work by bike when the weather allows. You can do all sorts of different things, all sorts of different exercises. Even standing could potentially be better than just sitting somewhere. At least you will train your back muscles. Another thing, which is just a minor adjustment, and as I've said, you don't need to go on a restricted diet, but what you can also do is just add salad leaves or veggies, but the easiest thing is the salad leaves, to your diet. But the thing is that when you add fiber to your diet, and especially if you eat it at the beginning of the meal, you will first of all become fuller sooner. Also, fiber will slow down the speed with which sugars would be absorbed by your stomach. That means you will not have such a high sugar spike that would eventually lead to more sugar cravings. So you would feel fuller for longer. It will feed your gut bacteria. And another thing, when you eat fiber, some of it is actually eaten, literally eaten by gut bacteria. So it doesn't go towards the energy surplus that you're having from food. Before you eat your meal, any meal, just eat some bunch of salads and maybe just a few cucumbers, a few other types of veggies that you like. So these two rules, they are super simple to follow. One more thing, and that's also quite an important observation. Even if you run or do whatever bout of exercise in the morning, but then for the rest of the day you just lie down or sit at your work, it's not the same as if you put those kind of bits of exercise into your day. Do your exercise in the morning and then start adding that movement during the day. If you stand up and just go and grab yourself a water, a tea, or just stand up and just walk around a little bit for at least a couple of minutes. If you do that every 20 minutes, it totally changes the way your body functions. Your metabolism increases. It just changes. You are staying active during the day. So these are the two rules which are simple to follow. There isn't a dramatic change to your life, but start implementing them right now, tomorrow, today, when you go somewhere. Just add those little walks into your day. Don't think of, I'm gonna get tired because of that. If you don't think that you're gonna get tired because of that, you're not really gonna get tired because of that. Because, our bodies, they're capable of much more that we generally think they're capable of. So try it and let me know in the comments if it works for you, if that changes anything. And see you soon in the next videos. Bye-bye.